is which is not easy to have such a meritorious environment to have four sangha. In the Vinaya emphasize when there's a four sangha available in any place, one of them definitely is arhat, just from the meritorious point of view. The possibility of four sangha member, it is extremely rare. It requires great amount of merits. We don't know who is that, but definitely one of four of them, not me. So there's one arahat. So arahat is even ultimate, is object of ultimate refuge. Not just a conventional refuge, but even the arahats are the object of ultimate refuge, the sangha. You see, so so there's a sign here, very obvious sign, even to our ordinary mind. There's a perfect preservation of the Vinaya practice from the from the teaching that Buddha revealed, the three baskets of teaching. One is Vinaya, then another one is Sutra, Abhidhamma, then another one the Abhidhamma, Wisdom Sutra, and the Vinaya. So then here, many senior practitioners, like I briefly mentioned last night also, some of you been practicing this teaching for the past 50, 60, years. And I told you yesterday that I'm not saying that you are already very old. So here just emphasizing how fortunate you are, how mature you are in the Dharma practice. That consistency, living on the path. So can you imagine, if you realize that you have lived on the path, or even just for 5 years is so amazing. Even just 1 month is amazing. Even one hour is amazing. Even 1 minute is amazing. Now, if someone able to live, taking the main essence of your life is be on the practice the Buddha Dharma for the past 50, 60 years. It is a great realization. It is a great achievement. It is a great purification has happened. It has accumulated unbelievable source of merit. And all those meritorious karmas are never wasted. It is the nature of karma, whether it's virtue, non-virtue, spiritual meritorious karma, everything, stay within our continuum until its fruition, unless you waste it, like such as meritorious karmas can be wasted due to the negative emotions like anger. Then negative karmas are purified if we apply the purification practice. Otherwise, the karmic seeds are always there, and also we briefly mentioned yesterday, the karma has a nature of multiply, increasing. I've given example, killing one insect. If you don't purify, within 15 days, the power of that karma becomes very much equal to killing one human being. Then the virtuous karma also carry the same kind of power. Even though how tiny virtues one may accumulate it, 15 days time it becomes a great source of merits. So you see. So it is no doubt having refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha and being well habitual training for many years or many years of time, definitely our future life is definitely in higher rebirth, no way in lower realm. When we try to understand how karma works, and how much meritorious karma we have accumulated, even though right now we may not realize, did I ever actualize any realization on the path? One may not notice the realization. So one way to discover how much realization we achieve is the amount of time and amount of exercises that you did in the practice. That's the only way. Because even you achieve arahatship, you won't have any kind of light emanating from your body and floating in the sky. Even when you achieve arhatship, still you have to touch the ground and walk on the feet. Still need to eat gross food. Still will age. Still will get sick, and still will die one day. As long as we are born using the human aggregates, and that comes in the nature of perishing it eventually. So getting old, getting sick, even the death, it doesn't undermine that you didn't achieve anything in your spiritual practice. You see, so therefore, it is so important for us to have the confidence in our practice, very much from the amount of time you spend in the practice, and the quality of motivation, the quality of concentration, and qualities of the usage of those tools, the techniques. That should define very much where you have come up to. You see, so therefore, without doubt, there are great upholder of the sutric teachings and tantric teachings. So here, many of you have done so many tantric retreats, daily yoga retreats. Sometimes when I hear what you are doing, and the dedications of great amount of time that you practice, I find it's such a favorable time, such a favorable place. It's very much like in the past in the Himalaya, now in the West, in the Blue Mountain in Australia. It's very much feel like those of favorable time in the past in Tibet, in Himalaya. So many retreaters, all the hermitage, all the caves are filled with the meditators. But today's time, unfortunately, most of the caves are empty. Most of the caves are more like the tourist destination. Of course, there are still so many practitioners out there, definitely. But to really to witness in a very obvious way is definitely getting less and less. But in the West, such as the Blue Mountain, and such as in Australia, the Buddhist teaching is not your culture before. Doing retreat in Buddhist deity yoga practices, Dharma practices were not your initial culture. And you adopt this culture and make that is like a meaning of your life, the main purpose of your life. Some of you are dedicated as a Sangha. Not easy. Big decision. Some of you have been dedicating entire your energy in the service of Dharma, in the service of Buddha's teaching, preservation of Buddha's teaching, like center here. Not easy to preserve the center. There are some of you served as directors in the past, SPC in the past, volunteer in the past, and some are still doing those jobs. Not easy. It is very much like out of your comfort zone. But you understood the meaning, you understood the benefit, you understood the purpose, and how much obstacle there, how much challenges there. You are so focused. I am amazed. I think many out there amazed, but I'm definitely amazed. It's so rejoicing, you see. And that is what we call preservation of Dharma, preservations of the Buddha's legacy, preservations of the is beneficial, wisdom and methods that Buddha have shared, you see. So you can see intact, preservation of, sutra, tantra, vinaya, and all these are make available, make possible, to the kindness of Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, revealing the teaching, the complete teaching. He had confidence on us. Can you imagine? We are many ways, we are quite naughty also, isn't it? We have been quite naughty. We are kind of improving, and you are the great result of how much it improved. How much you have progressed, how much greatly achieved in those positivities. And Buddha knew. Buddha is omniscient. He knew each and every one of us, the capability, the commitment. Yes, as I mentioned before, we in one way we are in the wrong time. We are in the wrong world. The time of our time is called 5-degenerated time. The lifespan is degenerated. Even the delusion also degenerated. Not in a good way. Delusion also become more stubborn compared to the past, or maybe compared to long future, other time. Our time delusions are like very tricky. Like look at the attachment. It's like kind of like always there to like be in your service, be in the service of your happiness. It's like a very tricky professional thief. Try to be a friend with you, try to be in the service, but then ruin everything. So, and being in the desire realm, even though we say ignorance is the root of all the problems, all the delusion, but actually attachment is the one. Attachment to self, attachment to our aggregates, attachment to the rest of the phenomena, feeling, etc., etc. That is the foundation where the ignorance will begin, greater and greater. Even the aversion, anger is so destructive, but anger is there because of attachment. When attachment demands are not fulfilled, then aversion arises. Ego, because of attachment, ego arises. Because of attachment, depression arises. Because of attachment, low self-esteem, and etc., etc. All the negativities are very much, foundation by attachment, the delusion of attachment. So therefore, yeah, even though we are in that kind of time and environment, but Shakyamuni Buddha didn't give up on us, and he revealed his complete teaching. So this is so important for us to have a feeling of gratitude, feeling of remembrance, especially Guru Shakyamuni Buddha. Sometimes we remember this deity, that Buddha, and sometimes Shakyamuni Buddha is because it's very humble look, very quiet look, and sometimes there's a danger of forgetting him, putting it aside, So that's one thing. Then similarly, the gurus, So after that, there's together I also try to, while we do the praises to Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, then Of course, our root guru, our ultimate guru is Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, but Guru Shakyamuni Buddha to reach out to us directly, like the enlightened state, the Dharmakaya, in order to reach to us, has to emanate in the form body, like Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya form body. So even though the Nirmanakaya, Shakyamuni Buddha's body is a Nirmanakaya, but he came into existence physically 2,600 years ago. In today, our time, his physical is not there. So again, the Nirmanakaya aspect also need to be manifested, something that which is directly can communicate with us, and that is the human guru, who come into our world very much as ordinary as like us, but then when reveal the Dharma as equal as a Buddha, the quality, the content, the authenticness, the purity of the wisdom and the attitude that our guru, like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, like Khyentse Lama Zopa Rinpoche, who put us in the position to enjoy Buddha's teaching as equal purity that Buddha himself in person teaching us. You see, so like all of us here, directly or indirectly, we are the result of Dalai Lama to meeting Tibetan Buddhism, the result of Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Many of you have met Buddha's teaching through this and that, whatever, especially the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, true to His Holiness vision, like Lama Yeshe and Lama Zopa Rinpoche were traveled in the West, especially to connect to Lama Tsongkhapa's teaching, which is a teaching that established on the basis of research of the earlier tradition in Kagyu Sakya, even in Tibetan Buddhist tradition. So Lama Tsongkhapa is the fourth one from the four major traditions who very much share the teachings of the Buddha, that which carry the essence of all the earlier traditions. So when you practice, study Lama Tsongkhapa's teaching, you serve the benefit of practicing Kagyu teaching, Sakya teaching, Nyingma teaching, and earlier than that, the teaching in relation to Pali tradition, Sanskrit tradition. In Pali tradition, there are so many traditions. The 18 different kind of schools, even from the Vaivasika schools. Then Sanskrit tradition, there are many, which called Mahayanic tradition. There's in relation to Chinese Mahayana, then other like Vietnamese or etc. Japan, Korea, Mongolia, and Himalayas in India, Himalayas in Nepal, etc. Lama Tsongkhapa's teaching carries the concentrated essence of all the Dharma. And in the West, like Australia, or even Europe, even America, or out of Nepal and India and Tibet, then such as Japan, Korea, Mongolia, etc. The western part of the world, Lama Yeshe, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, very much they are the pioneer. You call that? Mm-hmm. They are the initial Tibetan master, who brought Lama Tsongkhapa's teaching in the West. I think Australia, in fact, one of the, if not the first, is the earliest. We have celebrated last year 50 years of his teaching and vision in Australia. Uh, uh, the tradition from other Tibetan Buddhist lineage already exist. Some of their masters already, traveled in the West, already centers established. But in relation to Gelug tradition, in relation to Lama Tsongkhapa's tradition, very much, confidently can say Lama Yeshe and Lama Sopa Rinpoche, they were the initial one. And through the channel, through the visions of Lama Yeshe and Lama Sopa Rinpoche, and especially Lama Sopa Rinpoche have put, because Lama Yeshe didn't live that long, so Lama Sopa Rinpoche put many, many, many years, throughout this 50 over years, we have introduced unbelievable qualified teachers, masters in the Western world, including, earlier time, many visits of His Holiness Dalai Lama was initiated, requested, organized, through the effort of Sopa Rinpoche, many, many times in the earlier time. You see, so there are many great Tibetan masters by now, established centers, Dharma centers, monasteries, nunneries, etc., in the Western world. If we analyze where it traces back, how it began, that a lot of the lineages, can very much trace root to, Lama Sopa Rinpoche's effort. So therefore, one or another way, here, I think we have that connection. And so therefore, there's a teaching talking about Shakyamuni Buddha is kinder than all the 3 time other Buddhas. And the Guru is kinder than all the Buddhas. In the kindness, the quality, the Guru and Buddhas are equal. Quality, Shakyamuni Buddha and all the Buddhas are equal. But then in the kindness, Guru is the kindest, kinder than all the 3 time Buddhas. Because they directly manage to engage you in the path. So this is what understood. So you see, so therefore, the acknowledgement and the expressions of gratitude and a pure kind of the relation that you establish with that purity help us to realize the path. Whatever Dharma discourse we do, even just one ordinary conversation we do, just talk about what you want to eat for lunch. It brings a spiritual impact. Doesn't matter whatever lunch you're going to eat, I don't know. But even you already start to think about it in this environment, it does bring some spiritual benefits because of that you establish that open and pure relationship with the root, the lineage. So the Dharma practice, real spiritual Dharma, spiritual practice, if we really want to enjoy the complete benefit of the Dharma, we want to enjoy the complete meaning of why Shakyamuni Buddha came into existence in our world. If we want to enjoy, the amazing benefit that these gurus have shared among us, then that connection, the pure connection to the root and to the lineages, understood as our most important. Just want to learn information, no need. In fact, just one information, we don't even need to get together here. In today's internet world, go to the Google, and I heard now there's even some amazing things coming up called ChatGPT or AI, and I think this is going to go even more wild. you don't need discourse. You don't need in person to come together and discuss about Dharma. No meaning. It is just the purpose of our spirituality, purpose of meeting the Buddha's teaching and practice. It is only about getting information or only about getting intellectual knowledge. Then these in-persons are meaningless in today's time. You have to spend a lot of money. You have to sacrifice your precious time, especially in this gloomy weather. Everybody would prefer to stay in your comfortable lounge or in bed. Maybe not even will come out the lounge. Just don't want to come out from the bed at all. With the heater and the warm clothes and 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 just on the Google, just ask ChatGPT and say, okay, what is this? What is that? They will give better information, more concise information. I just a few days ago I realized that. Uh, so I gave a talk, and then one of the students used ChatGPT to transcribe my talk and share with me, and I was amazed. He said, you mean that I can able to teach like that? Why, that's so good. His English is very good. His because I'm a bit messy, so I'm not organized. I can go anywhere, everywhere. So it's so organized. And this is your teaching. He said, are you sure? It's like, I was surprised. You see. So it's like I also need to learn from there, like that. So anyway, yeah. So Dharma teaching, spiritual practice, uh, the benefit, the purpose is fulfilled when they become uh, you. When in other words, is when they become part. When they become our uh, our not a conceptual wisdom, but is innate wisdom, uh, not a conceptual attitude, not an intellectual attitude, intellectually built attitude, but it is something. It's like your innate feeling, your innate voice, your innate, uh, uh, you know, uh, the mindset, the attitude, and it becomes sustainable, and that's you. When when that wisdom and that attitude become the base of defining who you are, like how we define a Buddha based on his wisdom and attitude, you know, how we define uh, different between Buddha and us is because of the, the wisdom and attitude, or the person defined by it is character, the character. The character is very much, expressions of the wisdom or the attitude, or the quality of the mind. In other words, the mind is the producer of all actions, all characteristics. So the quality of mind will define whether someone as a Buddha or sentient being, or someone as a Bodhisattva or ordinary, being, etc. Someone as a delusion, bad person, good person is very much defined by the quality of the mind, isn't it? So, mm, so in order to the teachings to be realized as a path, or teachings to become you, uh, intellectual knowledge alone is not good enough. We need the spiritual transmission, the it is like saying that the pure nectar pour from one vase to the another vase. The that purity and that completeness passing one vase to the another vase, and the purity of, of that realization of the path has to pass down, through the unbroken lineage and unbroken or lineages that which they themselves have actualized the path. And uh, and for that, require a conducive environment to actualize that. Even the tools, the environment, the lineage blessing comes from the realized beings, but the environment, even when we discuss the Dharma, even the teacher has to be pure, in pure motivation, pure Dharma motivation. Then of course has to express the correct teaching. Then has to be in person, not through recording. Has to be in person. Then the spiritual seekers, they too has to have pure motivation, right motivation, and in the right place. Both the teacher and the student has to be in the right place, have to be gathered in the right place. We call it right gathering, right place, right ripened or qualified teacher, right ripened, qualified student, and the knowledge that we're going to discuss. So through this kind of environment, then the transmissions, the pouring of the pure nectar from the lineage will be poured into this right vessel, which is ourselves. So yeah, so it is for Dharma knowledge is more than the common conventional knowledge that we need that kind of environment. Then the purification take place very swiftly, and those whatever teaching that we discuss, everything become instruction, not just the information, not remain in the computer hard disk, or not remain in the note, or not remain in the bookshelf, but then it become part of our mindfulness in the form of instruction that guide us in our day-to-day ordinary activities of the body, speech, and mind. When the knowledge we learn become in such, then we claim that we actualize the wisdom of learning. So learning alone is not good enough. The learning has to become wisdom. Then there is a process of contemplation, means through the experiences, through applications of those wisdom, those instructions, it need to make sense to you in your real life experiences. It need to make differences in our in ordinary life through the guide of those wisdoms, and validating through logics, common sense, and most importantly through application. When each time we were proven the instruction did work for the betterment of our being, like such as purifications is happening, accumulations of merit is happening. Like merit here talking about increasing of wisdom is happening, uh, developing, our attitude, for getting wiser and wiser, more and more altruistic. All these are happening. Then analytical exercise also now turn into a wisdom. Now that conclusion, that benefit now taking into very much being yourself, becoming yourself, is very much indifferentiable of your, uh, of your being in your day-to-day life, and that is very much, come to a meditative state, so they, those experiences through learning and analytical observations, now you translate into your active day and as well as, in the time of when you are resting, pause, uh, busy life, busy activities, and uh, during those normal busy days, very much those teaching, those practices, those experiences, very much resulting, becoming you. So when we are interacting with people, with the situation, physically, verbally, emotionally, you very much function accordingly with the value that you have accumulated, firstly through learning, then achieve the wisdom, then contemplation, achieve the wisdom, and now you are embodying, not by force, those of gradual exercise, that now you become that, and from there you define as when someone is witnessing your actions, you may hear, oh, this person is, behave like Bodhisattva, or this person behave like Buddha, or this person is like so amazing, so peaceful, so wonderful. But you don't even notice that that it's not pretentious. It is you see. And that time, now Dharma become a path. Dharma become a you. And that time you understood as you have realized the path. Could be in relation to, maybe could be compassion, could be love, could be renunciation, could be wisdom or emptiness, could be bodhicitta, could be whatever teaching it may be that you have studied, you have contemplated, you have tried to use them to guide you in your day-to-day life, and eventually it become you. You see. So that's how, what you call the teaching becoming a path. And when the teaching become a path, and that's in that level of your quality is called realization on those teachings, those practices. That's how you progress on the stages of the path all the way up to enlightenment. You see. So for that we need blessing besides just the knowledge. That's why we try to always remember Buddha, remember the gurus, their kindness, and that way we create the interdependent meritorious condition from our side. Then everything becomes so meaningful. So that's one thing. And after that, there's prayers of Heart Sutra. In the Wisdom Sutra, that even if you recite even syllable which carry the meaning of emptiness, which carry the meaning of the entire Wisdom Sutra, say it will shaken the ground of the karma and the samsara, simply meaning that very, very steady, rooted of those negative emotions and negative karmic imprints. Now they have no stable base, means it will bring us easy purification, or it is already in the process of purifying, even just pronounce ah. And if you pronounce slightly more lengthy way, tayata gade gade, would say gade gade, para gade para sam gade buddhi, and so on. And slightly longer than that, it's a Heart Sutra. And slightly longer than that, then 8,000 verses. Okay, now it's asked me to stop for tea break. Okay, so this is like that. So so beneficial, karma and delusions, their steady rooting in our system are the main reason why we have health issue, why we have environmental issue, why we have this first place, the samsara, because of that. If we want to be free from all the troubles, we need to overcome its causes. That's what Buddha taught. We know, not even need to study much, we know the samsaric existence of our life is, there are more problems than comfortableness, isn't it? So as the Buddha says, suffering is to be known. So in order to overcome the problem, it is causes to be purified, and the causes are the karma and delusion. And then definitely you will see the third noble truth, the freedom, liberation is definitely out there, So quickly achieve that, through applications of the path, learning the Dharma, wisdom, as I mentioned before, then contemplate on them and meditate on them and become who you are, and that is the experience of liberation. So therefore, the Heart Sutra and the snow line phase of Dakini prayers are very powerful to clear obstacles on the spiritual path. Of course, even in our mundane life, if there's any inconvenience, even just reciting the Sayata Katikate Paragata Parasambhata Buddhi, so on, so effective to purify obstacles, like including of health obstacles, etc., financial obstacles, relationship obstacles, emotional obstacles, whatever they may be. And you can dedicate this to the benefit of the world. We all know how much trouble is going on in the world now. So the wars, natural disasters, different form of diseases, you see, and how wonderful that if you come in a position that you can help somebody, and somehow you can help whole world. I mean that's the most beautiful thing. It really make your life so huge. When you start to offer service of benefiting whole world in your very best, even through dedications of prayers and your good thoughts, it is the most powerful healing technique to heal our own miseries, like such as depression, low self-esteem, the limitations that we see in ourselves. The moment you start to think for the well-being of others and some more, many others, if possible, all the sentient beings out there, and that is the most powerful healing to those obstacles created by our own mind, especially limited, attitudes, like such as low self-esteem, etc. Like thinking, like I'm worthless, I'm so small, I'm useless, blah 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 blah. You see, so the moment your heart open as a bodhicitta, the healing immediately takes place. You become uplifted. You become so powerful. You see, you feel like so worth and meaningful to live. You see, because there's numberless sentient beings need you, and you can do something for them. How amazing is that, isn't it? So then you start to take good care of your health, mental health, physical health, and you start to create more positive environment to be even more powerful for you to engage the benefiting sentient beings in more effectively, then surely you will make more friends, isn't it? Because you need more help to be more powerful to help more sentient beings. And if you want to make friends, then you will be nice. Naturally, you'll be nicer. Without being nice, no one want to make friends with you, isn't it? So it's like mutual benefit. It's like just open your heart, and there's so many amazing things comes in our way. So anyway, Heart Sutra and the snowline face Dakini, it really, in Tibetan Buddhist culture, everybody can be a lama that who can recommend, some help to anybody who need help. They just recommend Heart Sutra. That's it. For health problem, you can recommend Heart Sutra. For business problem, you can recommend Heart Sutra. For relationship problem, you can recommend Heart Sutra. If yeah, for spiritual success, you recommend Heart Sutra. So this is for everything, you see. So then after that, then I think I don't know. There are many there. So then there's a mandala offering by creating auspiciousness as mentioned before. To success in the receiving the blessings of the Dharma, etc. Like that. So while reciting these prayers, then also take opportunity to set the correct motivation, the bodhicitta motivation, simply dedicating the entire one's existence, in particular this whole life, and this very year, this very month, this very week, this very day, this very session, or this very 2 days of our time together, may it be complete, perfect and complete. So there's a reason for saying that, perfect and complete causes for the numberless sentient beings, temporary happiness after the ultimate happiness of enlightenment. And there's no complete and perfect then bodhicitta, to creating causes, right causes, complete causes to benefit sentient beings. So we dedicate like that, So this 2 days become a very powerful retreat. None of your sacrifices is not wasted. That very warm, cozy, comfortable room. Even you sacrifice that for this 2 days is worth like that. Okay, so we do that. Thank you. The praises Shakyamuni Buddha.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in the prayer book, the first prayers because page 2. Homage and praise to Shakyamuni Buddha, to the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Siddhartha, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Siddhartha, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Siddhartha, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme among humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I'm supreme in this world. To you who are wise then, I prostrate. With your bodies from supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Thus free like you, the three worlds are not. Incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Saviour having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the one God to thusness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and who also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the sublime community and turned in virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all three ever devout homage, to all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all the realm's atoms, in all aspects, with supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank from false being, subdue the foe of faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. The Heart of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time that the Bhagavan was dwelling on massive Vulture's mountain in Rajagriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Bhagavan was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound perception. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara, looked upon the very practice of the profound perfection of wisdom and beheld those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then, through the power of Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara: how should any son of the lineage train who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom? He said that to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, composition of factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are emptiness, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composition of factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no odour, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so on, up to and including no mind element, and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and harm. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly, completely awaken to unsurpassable perfect, complete enlightenment, in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared. Tayata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhisoha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, portraying the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Bhagwan arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage. It is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom, just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Bhagwan, having thus spoken, the venerable Sharanvaniputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, those surrounding in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Bhagwan. Read to the line-faced Dakini. I prostrate to the gathering of Dakinis in the three chakras, who abide in the holy yoga of using space. By your powers of clairvoyance and magical emanation, look after practitioners like a mother her child. Taito Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhisoha. By the teachings of the three supreme jewels possessing the power of truth, may inner and outer hindrances be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be pacified, may they be completely pacified, may all negative forces opposed to Dharma be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, they will be separated from problems and harmful conditions to Dharma, may all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma, and may there be auspicious and perfect happiness here right now. Praise to Manjushri. Obeisance to my Guru and Protector Manjushri, who holds to his heart a scriptural test symbolic of his seeing all things as they are, whose understanding shines forth as the sun, unclouded by defilements or traces of ignorance, who teaches in 60 ways with the patient love of a father for his only son, all creatures caught in the prison of samsara, confused in the darkness of their ignorance, overwhelmed by their suffering. You, whose dragon thunder proclamation of the Dharma arouses us from the stupor of our delusions and frees us from the iron chains of our karma, whose powerful sword of wisdom hews down suffering wherever its sprouts appear, clearing away the darkness of all ignorance, whose princely body is adorned with the 112 marks of a Buddha, who has completed the 10 stages achieving the highest perfection of the Buddha, who has been pure from the beginning. O Manjushri, all-loving one, with the brilliance of your wisdom, illuminate the darkness enclosing my mind, enlighten my intelligence and wisdom, so that I may gain insight into Buddha's words and their texts and explain them. We'll do the next one in English. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind. I present clouds of every type of offering, actual and imagined. I declare all my negative actions accumulated since beginning this time, and rejoice in the merit of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until the end of cyclic existence, and turn the wheel of Dharma for living beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of all others to the great enlightenment. We'll just do the short prayer here of the four immeasurables. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from the happiness that is without suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from both attachment and hatred, holding some close and others distant. Dashipo.
No, reject. Ah, okay. Yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah. So, oh, so, oh, so, yeah. So, yeah. So, 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 yeah. So, yeah. Do, yeah. Yeah. Tôi ghé chờ đi cho yeah, Brahma Guru Rama. Ah, yeah, yeah. So then those who have refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha, refresh them while reciting the refuge prayer. And those who not yet taken refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha, simply acknowledge your innate being is a Buddha being. If that innate potential is nurtured by beneficial wisdom and beneficial attitudes, like loving kindness, compassion, and wisdom of emptiness, then that potential will be fully awakened as a Buddha. Then also refreshed, even though you have set the motivation before, but then again, um, you know, the bodhicitta motivation to be lively in our system. Sangye chedan soje shona ma janju badu dani jasu che daji cheche jeve sonam dola beje sangye dhubarai jo sangye chedan soje shona ma janju badu dani jasu daji cheche jeve sonam je dola beje sangye dhubarai sangye chedan soje shona ma janju badu dani jasu che daji cheche jeve sonam Dola benje sanje rubara. Sangye dujene sone tawa tamje bambe chere tambe jene ten jebe kontam de la chanse. Toni ninje zondo jube lama zeje zeje kanje den de chana bemo den den jaso la sowa dem zonda ju jinje. Okay, thank you. So the topic for today is the teachings on the sixth perfection. So since we're going to take a tea break, uh, so just to count the six perfection, then we'll break for the tea. So the the perfections of generosity, perfections of morality, perfections of joyous effort, perfections of patience, perfections of concentration, perfections of wisdom, and that is the objective of very much practicing the Dharma to get perfected in the sixth perfection. Once sixth perfection is Once the practice of six perfection is perfected, then we become Buddha. So as a spiritual practitioner, as a student, as a trainee, then we practice the practice of six perfection. We train in the practice of six perfection. So the practice of six perfection is the essence of the Buddha Dharma. Very much Buddha taught many teachings in very much to understand the practice of six perfection and able to accomplish the practice of six perfection, and that which would lead to become a Buddha. And especially it is essential for Mahayanic Buddhist practitioner, especially those who aspire to follow the Bodhisattva's way of life, and ultimate goal is not self-liberation, not just to have a comfortable this life, not just to be free from three lower realms and actualize higher rebirth, not just to enjoy the self-liberation, but the ultimate goal of practicing Dharma is to achieve full enlightenment for the benefit of numberless sentient beings. Then we need to develop altruistic wisdom and altruistic attitude, bodhicitta and wisdom of emptiness. So the practice of six perfection, those who wish to develop that, the practice of six perfection is the best preparatory practice to actualize altruistic wisdom and altruistic attitude. Those who already have Bodhisattva vows, already practicing bodhicitta, then the practice of six perfection is to advance, develop even greater the training in Bodhisattva's path. Then those of the individuals who have received Bodhisattva vows and training in Bodhisattva's conduct, but have transgraded, have degenerated our practice, and the practice of six paramita is the tool, the best tool, or you can say only the tool to recover, to revive our practice, to refresh our practice. Those who are already achieved the Bodhisattva's path, already enter into the ordinary Bodhisattva's path, but now you want to actualize Arya Bodhisattva's level of path, then the practice of six paramita is the only way to progress our path from ordinary to extraordinary, the Arya Bodhisattva's path. In Arya Bodhisattva's path also, there are 10 different stages to be developed in order to become Buddha. If we are on the first level, you want to go to the second level, practice of six paramita is the only way for us to go to next level. Even the 10 Bhumi Bodhisattva wish to, now the next is to achieve Buddhahood. What will make the 10 Bhumi Bodhisattva to become Buddha is through the perfecting practice in the sixth perfection. So this is one of the most important practice, most important knowledge. And even we want to be happy in our day-to-day life, if we want to be happy, if we want to have a harmonious family environment, if you want to have a harmonious society, you want to be most likable, most successful, happy, then six paramita, practicing the practice of six paramita is the best tool. Yes, I was saying that sixth perfection is the best tool for all the temporary goodness. No question about one of the most essential practice to fulfill the ultimate goal of what we aspire for. We aspire for everlasting happiness, true happiness, and the state of enlightenment is the everlasting happiness. There's no other place, no other state of being which can enjoy everlasting and perfect pure happiness. No, even in the nirvana peace carries limitation. Limitations, even though is happiness, peace, but then carries the limitations of perfecting in all the qualities, like such as the qualities of the sixth perfection. Can be so beneficial for your own benefit alone, but there's a limited ways to be in the effective service of the happiness of the rest of the numberless sentient beings. And as we briefly mentioned this morning, how wonderful that we can be in the service of so many sentient beings' happiness. Even in the thought, it really, that's the best way to bring happiness to yourself, by bringing happiness to others, by creating causes and conditions of happiness to others. And by creating causes and conditions for the everlasting happiness of others, which is abiding sentient beings, or creating causes and conditions to lead sentient beings to the state of full enlightenment. And that is the biggest gift, the biggest service, the greatest service, and that through the practice of sixth perfection, able to do that. So even for day to day, if someone is very generous, so here, generosity, later I will go through detail of those, a different form of generosity, but just an example, someone is generous in sharing in their material resources, like food, medicine, shelter, etc., and being generous in being positive, such as always having positive thinking about self, about others, about relationship, about the environment. Someone so generous being positive in everything. And can you imagine how nice to be around that person? You will be influenced, even though one may be in the position of so much stress and so much of problem, but by the power of that positivity, one or another way, there's some relaxations that you can enjoy, some kind of like seeing light, possibility of coming out of our own problems and miseries when we be around very positive people. And I think everybody has that experience in your life. We meet all sort of people, and we sometimes meet wonderful positive people, and just talking to them, just spending a bit of time with them, it really nurtures you. It really liberates you in many ways. Give you so much hope, give you so much peace. And some of you are serious practitioners who also have a meritorious karma to meet, like such as positive, Bodhisattva beings, enlightened beings like Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Just to be in his presence. Sometimes, when he's teaching, maybe teaching very difficult to understand, but just being there, you feel so wonderful. There's so many unanswered questions are answered, just being in his presence. And you were kind of like set a new sort of motivation, and that happens with your own individual spiritual gurus, spiritual teachers, spiritual elders, spiritual environment. We if we try to figure it out, there's so many events that that we have encountered. That itself is a proof. Being, so therefore, generosity here is not just limited by material gift. The gift of being very generous, adorning your heart with positivity, and your actions, adorned with peacefulness, gentleness, calmness, then generosity of kind words, I mean, honestly, not difficult to say nice words to others, kind words to others, but sometimes we were influenced, the other way that it is like so, as if it's so difficult, so expensive to express kind words. You know, it sounds like it's like torturing to kind of like express forgiveness to someone's misbehavior. You know, sometimes we feel like it's so hard. You know, how can we caution hundreds of like inquiries? You know, how can I forgive? How possible I can forgive? You know, no way I can forgive. Like it sounds like so hard, but it really understand the practice of generosity and just being generous to let it to how to say being generous to let go those of the bondage of grasping, be generous uh, uh, in the heart of forgiveness. It is so liberating whenever you practice the forgiveness in others' wrongdoings. At least it's so liberating to yourself from the bondage of the suffering that comes through that relationship, etc. Being generous in like smile, genuine smile. Because when you are adorned with the positivity, the heart of generosity, naturally the is even you are serious also, people see smile in your face. So yeah, then uh, generosity of wisdom. I mean, each and everybody carries so much of lessons from the life, and especially and those who are already met the Dharma, you have so much of knowledge from the Dharma, and the knowledge from the Dharma is all also beneficial, so heartwarming, and yeah, and sometimes whenever we get opportunity to talk, uh, in many cases, we argue, we fight, we scold each other, instead of sharing, those beneficial wisdom, rather we start with some kind of idle gossips, and unnecessary, conversations. But if we really carry the value of generosity, the heart of generosity, then generosity of Dharma is one of very, very generosity of beneficial wisdom, and especially generosity of altruistic dharmas, like such as conversation about great love, great compassion, the value of great compassion, value of great love, value of bodhicitta, value of altruistic wisdom. Anybody who hear about it, hear the language of love and compassion is very heartwarming. So these are also false, in this, So the first person will start to enjoy sense of confidence, sense of settledness, sense of respect to who you are whenever you are practicing the generosity of those beneficial wisdoms through your speech, and physical help when need help, and generosity of kind thoughts, being generous in dedicating merit to the well-being of sentient beings is very, very heartwarming. The doer, him or herself, the moment you start even with one Om Mani Padme Hum for the benefit of one person's well-being, the first person who enjoy the benefit is yourself. It just kind of like pouring a bit of cold water in a very boiling, very wild boiling water. If there's all sort of emotions, all sort of conflicts going on in the emotion, and disturbing, then there, try to practice the generosity of thinking about the well-being of someone who may need prayer support, and you start to recite Om Mani Padme Hum and think of the well-being of that person. Like all emotion just like calm down, and you become so peaceful. You enjoy that liberation. You enjoy that happiness. It happens. It is a simple practice. Anybody can practice, and I think all of us, one or another way, we have experienced that kind of impacts. Now, if we are able to be even more generous in our time and investing, our body, speech, and mind, the generosity of prayers, generosity of kind thoughts, generosity of being in the service of sentient being, and greater and greater happiness that we can enjoy even in temporal level. And no question about the impact of the benefit of the karma is, even cause enlightenment like that, you see. So, I mean, if we want to experience happiness, then we cause and condition happiness of others. If we want to experience love, you express love to others. Be generous in expressing love to others. If you want to, feel, compassion, you want to experience the benefit of compassion, someone always, there for you whenever, we go through difficulties, expressing compassion. Then we express compassion to others. Be generous in expressing compassion to others. If we want to have always, be in the position receiving help always, then whenever you can be helpful to others, isn't it? So this is very logical, common sense, and the effects are definitely there. So if we want to experience only peace, then be generous in being in peace and conditioning peace to others. So if we want to get enlightened, then be generous, in the practice. Be generous in our time, in our effort, practicing the path. So then the result we will enjoy liberation, enlightenment. So like that. So even based on the Buddhist teaching, in accordance with the Lam Rim, even in the future life, if we want to, minimum overcome the rebirth in three Lorila and reborn in a higher rebirth, like such as human and God, and especially to reborn as a precious human rebirth, where we can continue to practice the path. Then one of the main costs is generosity, practice of generosity in this life. Practice of generosity, even the material generosity. When we have the capability, always sharing with others. Then generosity, being generous in the practice of such as 10 virtues. Then that creates the environment to reborn in higher rebirths. So there are three main causes. One is generosity, another one is morality, moral precepts, which is also one of the 6 paramita. The second one, uphold as pure as possible in the moral precepts. It can be just even a minimum like precept of no killing, or any of the 10 non-virtues, abstaining from any of the 10 non-virtues, it passes all, abstain from all, and gathering, the virtues of 10 virtues, or practice at least precept of refuge, or practice at least, the precept of lay vows, no killing, no stealing, no lying, no sexual misconduct, no intoxication. If as is all, if not at least one, then observing the Bodhisattva precepts, tantric precepts, etc., etc. So being generous in our practice, in the practice of those moral precepts. And then when we aspire that I wish to reborn another favorable rebirth for me to complete the path that which I started, maybe even before this life, or at least from this life onward, and that will condition us to be reborn in higher rebirth. So you see, even to just to be born in higher rebirth and to overcome 3 low realm, the practice of 6 paramita, such as generosity, morality, comes very, very important. They are the main cause. Then, if someone's objective of spiritual practice is to achieve self-liberation, maybe not in a position to, aspire to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of the rest of the sentient beings, but at least that I want to make sure that I want to be free from the control of karma and delusions and the reincarnation within the 6 realms, by understanding the limitations of the suffering, the samsaric suffering, limitations of delusion and karma, etc. You need to practice 3 higher trainings, minimum. The higher training of morality, moral precept, higher training of concentration, great level of concentration, and wisdom of no self. These 3 are the main causes to make sure we manage to overcome rebirth in the 6 realms. By overcoming its causes, the karma which introduced by the ignorant, the wisdom of no self, or on the basis of serviceable mind of concentration, and on the basis of pure ethic, we are able to directly antidote to the ignorant, that which lead the 12 links of the samsaric existence. The practice of 3 higher training, from the 6 paramita, the higher training of morality, and the 5th higher training of the concentration, and number 6, the higher training of wisdom. So the paramita of this, from the 6 paramitas, number 2, number 5th, and number 6 are the main cause, even to achieve self-liberation. Now, no question about someone want to achieve Buddhahood. We need to have the highest quality of attitude, which called bodhicitta, or the method aspect of the path. The bodhicitta is the result of perfecting from the 6 paramita, first 5 paramita. The paramita or the perfection practice of morality, or the generosity, morality, patience, joyous effort, concentration, is the main cause to deliver actualizing great compassion. And great compassion is the direct cause of bodhicitta. You see, and the bodhicitta is the direct cause of Buddha's form body. Buddha has 2 bodies, wisdom body and form body. The form body is the ultimate benefit of noblest sentient being well-being. Buddha's wisdom body is the ultimate body of the benefit of your own, the most perfected benefit. So to achieve Buddha's form body, you need bodhicitta. Bodhicitta develop in relation to training. Bodhicitta develop through great compassion. Great love, great compassion. Great love, great compassion develop in our system through the exercising the method aspect of the path, like such as the earlier 5 paramita, practice of the earlier 5 paramita from the 6 perfection practice. So now, in order to achieve Buddha's wisdom body, you need wisdom realizing directly, realizing, wisdom realizing ultimate nature of self and phenomena, the direct realization of emptiness. So the direct realization of emptiness actualized through training in the number 6 paramita, the wisdom of emptiness on the phenomena. Wisdom of emptiness of the phenomena, you actualize through the wisdom of training in the realizing the self-essence of person. So you see, so it works like that. So how crucial it is, as briefly mentioned this morning, that if we aspire to actualize the altruistic wisdom and altruistic attitude, then training in the 6 paramita will make that possible. If you're already practicing that, now you want to progress, the practice of 6 paramita is the one that will make that possible. If you're already practicing but it degenerated, you have no interest, there's no motivation. Sometimes we come to a position, yes, we were once so motivated in the practice, but now like losing interest. I don't want to do sadhana, don't want to do retreat, don't want to study, just want to get distracted. And that is a sign of obstacles occur or the degenerations of your path, your practice. Now, in order to recover, from those distractions, the practice of 6 paramita is the way to do that. The moment you start to exercise in practice of 6 paramita, you energize. Like such as joyous effort will develop. In order to practice Dharma well, we need joyous effort. We need to sustain Dharma practice, we need joyous effort. And joyous effort is not always there. So like that. And as mentioned before, you want to achieve enlightenment within one very lifetime through the tools of like high tantric practice. 6 paramita is the one which will make that possible. Without the practice of 6 paramita, even you are already engaged in the high tantra, the 2 stages of tantric path, is very limited force. In order to make the 2 stages of tantric path, effective in our system, then you need the highest level of moral precept. The first paramita, or the second paramita. You need the highest level of the serviceable mind from the 5th paramita. You need the highest level of wisdom in relation to the daily yoga practice. Generation and completion stage is about developing yourself as a deity, the future deity within, even during the training, you become through self-generation, through actualizing the body mandalas, front generation, etc. If the emptiness wisdom is intact, you're able to do that. If emptiness wisdom is not intact, even the yoga is so powerful, it doesn't make sense to you. It's very much like kind of, it's not real. You are just imagining, you cannot become real Buddha, real deity, which you can if we have the power of wisdom and power of the serviceable mind, number 5 and number 6. You see, so even to bring the full force of the Tantra and to make enlightenment within this very short period of time, you need this support, you need the foundation of the great level of practice for six paramita.